Alright, what do we have here? I showed you previously on Multisim how to implement your circuit on a breadboard. In real life situations, if you follow that same order that I talked about, where you identify all the joints in your circuit and then you implement the same connections for those joints on the breadboard, you should have something like this over here. As you can from that circuit, we have a power supply which is connected to the head of the first resistor R1, and then there is the second joint where you have the head of R2, tail of R1, and head of R3 connected together, and then you have the third joint where you have R2 and R3, the tail of them connected together to the negative terminal of the power supply. So when I implement this on breadboard, this is how it looks like. So I have the positive terminal coming in here, and that whole row now has access to the positive power supply lined with the red line over there. And to continue that power supply and bring it into my mid segment of the breadboard, I use this simple small connecting wire there to have it connected on the same column of R1. It gets a little blurry, I really apologize for that, but as you can see in the mid segment we have all the holes in the same columns sharing the same connection. So to continue that positive supply into the head of R1, just like here, I would have them connected on the same column, and then the R1 continues, and R1 continues to the same column where the tail of R1 is connected to the head of R2 and R3 on the same column. And then I proceed on to the last segment, the third joint, where I have the negative terminal connected to the tail of R2 and R3, and going back into the outer edge where I have that entire row connected to the negative terminal. Here in a lab setting, I had this connection, the power supply coming out from a DC voltage, 5 volt fixed DC voltage. For online students, you can use your 9 volt battery or the AA batteries and have them come into your breadboard like that, and then continue on to the rest of the circuit. So to clarify, here is the number of joints that I identified at first going clockwise from the power supply, and to maintain that same connectivity I have it on the breadboard just like that.